cooler that I'm basing the build off with. I plan on, with the cooler, with the frame, is making it just a little bit wider than this cooler. I'm using 2x2 14 gauge steel for the frame that I'm going to make. It's going to be in a ladder style. And then to hold the cooler in place, my thoughts are for right now is to use angle iron on top of the frame. I'm going to weld that on to hold the cooler in place. So let's start the first part by measuring the cooler here, and then let's get to cutting on some metal and welding. So what do you say? So let's take a look here. So the cooler here, by my measurements, comes out to 17.5 inches is what I am going to base the frame width on. So what I'm going to do is, right now I have 20 lineal feet of the 2x2 14 gauge steel to make the frame. Right now I have two 7-footers and a 6-footer. I'm going to leave the 7-foot material at the 7-foot length for now. My plan is with the 6-foot piece is to cut that up into to form the ladder part of the frame, the rails. So at the end of the build, once I figure out how long this thing has to be when I put the transaxle in and the engine behind the cooler, the plan is to just hack the rest off and then mount a bumper onto the rear, and then of course onto the front. So stay tuned here for some action on the saw and on the welder. So let's have some fun now. So if I made a mistake or something like that, it's easy to take apart instead of having to almost start over from scratch. So I'm just tacking this thing up together until I've got it exactly where I want it, and then I will of
the
course
welder
throw
that
down
I
some
am
real
using,
heat.
it's a Chicago electric welder. It's a 90 amp flux wire MIG welder. Got it from Harbor Freight on sale for $100. Not the best thing in the world, not the worst thing in the world. It does exactly what I need it to do. One day I would like to upgrade welders. I'd like to go to a TIG or maybe a MIG-less gas. So hopefully down the road we can afford to get one of those, but for right now this does everything I need it to do.
Alright guys, that is all for prepping the frame and getting it tacked up. Next up, video that I will be doing is going to be putting the front end under the Tracta-Cooler, so stay tuned for some more videos to come here soon.